Alright, I have bought this brand new Ridgid 7-inch tile saw, and it had huge slop in the tray, which would go from like this, especially at the end. So you cannot get it adjusted that it will stay parallel until the end of the track. And by design, it's made like that because one wheel is getting off the rail. So to remove as much slop as possible, since those are plastic wheels, first we need to remove the slop from the plastic wheels. And I did that by applying one layer of electrical tape on this rail, so the wheel would stay perfectly planted on the rail. Then I've tightened these springs the maximum I can before they give too much of a resistance. So it's a bit stiff, but it still rolls pretty good. And then at the end I've adjusted this rail so it's pretty much parallel. Then I have adjusted this rail parallel to this rail, so this rail, even though the wheels can easily move on it, they won't. If the rail is not parallel, it might try to pull the table, especially at the end. So I've made sure that this rail is parallel to this rail. And finally, just when you use the saw at the end, make sure you always push here and pull here so the tree doesn't get crooked like that. If you pull here and hold here, it will stay pretty much straight all the way to the end. This is the best I could do with this saw. Of course, it's a cheap saw. It's like 300 Canadian dollars saw. And out of the box, it's really crooked. I had like more than a blade thickness of difference between the beginning of the table and the end, and especially as soon as the last wheel right here, as soon as the last wheel gets off the rail, it's when things starts to get crooked. So obviously this is where you're always working. You're almost never working this unless you're using 24-inch tiles. If you're using 12 by 12, you're always in this range. So whenever you're doing a cut at the end, the wheel always gets off. So a permanent solution would be to use longer rails or a different design, but it doesn't. So this is what I've done, and it's still not perfect. Maybe I have 1/16, 1/32 of play, but for the price, I think this is the best we can do. Goodbye.